right. Well, first, before we get into our predictions, let's hop on that because I know we got a lot of questions about it, and I had people blowing me up about it yesterday when it happened. The news breaking that Chip Ganassi Racing officially going to 5 full-time rides in 2024 with the signing of their development driver up into the IndyCar series, Kiffin Simpson, 18-year-old Kiffin Simpson. A pretty wild move. I mean, Conor, what was your initial thoughts when you saw that news come through?
Well, I think this is something that we got a lot of questions about, and I want to make sure we respect those folks who ask the questions. So we'll get into it a little bit later, but it's to give people, and I read the comments on this post a lot, because I find it interesting that there are still a lot of people that don't necessarily understand how this sport really works at times, because Kiffin Simpson obviously already signed with the best team in all of IndyCar racing right now. And the man has finished 10th in the Indy Lights Championship, or Indy Next Championship. And I mean, there is no history of winning, or, very, very similar to, a Devlin DeFrancesco, showing up to the IndyCar series. Stingray Robb even did better, I believe, in the Indy NXT Championship than Kiffin Simpson. Now, Kiffin Simpson, I think, had to miss a race or two because he was racing overseas or something like that. But no real glimmers of if you're to judge, right? Like we had Linus Lundqvist, who won the Indy Lights Championship last year, could not get a ride. Now he's with Ganassi, right? But he needed that one chance to get in. But that one chance either comes if someone gets injured or if you have funding behind you, and Linus did not have that. So, this business, if you have enough money, you can do whatever you want. It's like when Max Chilton came to drive for Ganassi, right? Like Max Chilton had been in Formula One, but everyone kind of knew, and he had actually, he had more success, I would say, than Kiffin has had. No offense to Kiffin. I don't know him at all, and I respect.
Experience the thrill of the racetrack like you're in the driver's seat with DraftKings Sportsbook. Bet on your favorite racers and feel the rush of every overtake, pit stop, and victory like never before. Right now, new customers can turn $5 into $200 instantly in bonus bets. Bet 5 on anything to score big, no matter what goes down on the track. Make sure to stay tuned into Dirty Mo Dough to keep up with all the NASCAR Cup Series playoff matchups. The racing action doesn't stop till the checkered flag drops. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and join with code SPEEDSTREET. New customers can bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. That's code SPEEDSTREET, only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
How this world works, because I'm very familiar with it now, but this is just the reality of it, right? Like if you're going to try to base things purely on results, which people get, people try to throw that at me all the time. I'm going to tell you, these are the results. And if the Indy Lights champion, Indian NXT champion has not signed yet, but Kiffin Simpson has, that is just one of the unfair sides of this sport. It's just what happens, right?
Conor, have you ever seen the movie All the President's Men?
No, I'm not familiar with that film.
Are you familiar with the whole Woodward and Bernstein, being the ones who reported on Watergate back in the Nixon days?
Not really.
Yeah. Well, the whole point of this being is that there's a real famous line from that movie and that whole scenario during Watergate. So the character named Deep Throat says, "Follow the money." Follow the money. Okay. Yeah. That is what you do in this sport, in this series. Whenever you have something that raises eyebrows, you follow the money, and that will give you the answer.
Yeah. And look, that is all it comes down to, right? So again, it's not bad. Like, I am someone who literally got my ride because I had a sponsor, right? We worked with BitNile and Todd Alt to get the ECR ride. I worked with the Air Force to go to ECR. Like, it's not like they chose me to come and drive for them. Like, this is a business deal, right? But but when this type of deal happens and you're trying to fight for young drivers, hey, that's tough. But that has always been going on. That has been going on since the beginning of time. It's just more nowadays when you have the internet and you can kind of do research. Kiffin Simpson has definitely some strong backing behind him. And you know what? If you got it, use it, right? And Devlin, he did the same thing. I think he's probably enjoyed himself at the Andretti Autosport team, a great team, top-level team. Now he's gone. I don't know what he's going to do in IndyCar next year. I'm sure he'll show up maybe on a lower tier team. But you just kind of see how that works. And that's, I'm not going to, I don't know how it's going to go for Kiffin Simpson. I don't know. I wish him all the best. As an 18-year-old, I would not have any idea what to have done in the IndyCar series. That is a young buckaroo. So I respect that. Got to get after it. But for those who don't actually know how this game works, if you show up to the table, any team's table, really except for Penske, with enough budget, you can do whatever you want. That's just how it works.
Yep. I mean, hey, like you said, I mean, it is what it is. And I'm sure if we were all in that position and we had those, we would do
the same thing. I mean, I respect, like, all of us, any of us, we're just jealous. Like, that's all we speak from. That's the real thing. Like, shoot, that sounds awesome.
Hey, if I had that money for my son when he's 17 years from now, and I wanted to go to Chip Ganassi and say, hey, he's going to be racing in the Indy 500, Chip, I would absolutely do it.
You would have some sort of negotiation. Yeah.
Right.